A958 fans, if you've got a V8 version, eventually you're going to be looking at changing out the timing chain guides as the deviations grow too much. So this is over 10 degrees where the faults start. So the process is easy to fix that problem. It's getting new chain guides, new chain, new sprockets. Once the parts have been installed though, the process of timing the cams is pretty important. And so I want to go through that process with this video. The toolkit we need has staking tools for the cams, a pneumatic air tensioner, as well as a dowel pin for the crank pulley. So the pneumatic tensioner, I'm using a tire gauge actually, which works really nicely to monitor the pressure that's used. It's got a little 90-degree fitting that I've put onto the end of the pneumatic chain tensioner. We're going to be shooting for 72 to 79 psi is the ideal. And once the pressure's been applied to the chain tensioner, that's step one. Next up, we want to start this process with the crank at the locating pin with about 45 degrees to go before it reaches the very bottom, which is the top dead center point. We're going to loosen the bolts on the cams on all four of them. So the bolt is loosened with an external Torx fitting, countered with a 32 millimeter wrench. So all of these we're going to loosen up, and the pulleys won't come off. We just need to get them each loosened up quite well. And so this is now the exhaust side, the exhaust cam. We're going to loosen that sprocket bolt. These should all be brand new bolts before starting this process once we've done all the part replacements. So bank one, we're done. We can see with our fingers that now we've got some loose bolts. I'm going to again make sure the pressure is good in case some of it's bleeding off. That's what you saw me do there. So bolts are loose, pressure's good. The next step is to place the staking tools. And so here on bank one, we're placing the staking tool by wiggling the loose cams back and forth until the tool gets fully seated down. So the tool needs to be, it can only go one way, which is what makes this job so easy, but wiggling the cam back and forth with a 30 millimeter wrench or a comparable wrench to hold on to the hex little area on the cam that can fit the wrench. So we're just going to wiggle it back and forth until the tool seats fully down. Then we're going to take some screws and just hand tighten them. That's what the manual calls for, just hand tightening these valve cover screws to keep the tool in position. Now, the tool I have, it wasn't very well centered, but I couldn't get the large screw in on the intake side, so I'm just going to use a vice grip with some padded ends here. The important thing is just making sure that the gap is the same on both sides of the staking tool, so it doesn't have to necessarily be torqued down really hard. So here we are looking at what we've done. We've got a valve cover screw on that side, no gap at all, it's fully seated, and here we are on the intake side, again also fully seated. So bank one is staked. So let's make sure we're ready to go here. So we're going to check the pressure, which we're good. 72 to 79 is our range. The crank pulley is in the right position. We're still 45 degrees from the TDC, top dead center. And checking both of our cam bolts, they're still nice and loose. That'll let these two sprockets rotate on the cams and allow the timing to be set. So on to bank two, we have the staking tool in place with two screws, and now we are ready to actually set the timing at top dead center. So using a big wrench, it's a 27 millimeter socket on the vibration dampener or crankshaft pulley, we're going to slowly rotate. So watch that chain as it moves. We're going to slowly rotate, holding pressure on the staking tool in the crank pulley until it drops into place, which is, there's a little notch that will fit into when the crank has reached top dead center. So right now the sprockets are spinning, but the cams are staked, meaning they can't move. They're at top dead center, but the chain is not yet. So we're almost there, just going really slowly, slowly turning with some pressure against the pin until it drops into place in the slot on the timing chain cover. And so slowly turning it until that pin drops into place. We're not there yet, but we're slowly turning just until it drops in. That's where we want to turn no more and press no more. So we're almost there. Again, going super slow, and we made it. So the pin is dropped in. Pressure is good on the pneumatic tensioner. And now, if we look, we can see we're there. The pin is in the slot directly at the bottom at the 6 o'clock position. Our pressure is good on the pneumatic tensioner, and stakes are in place. They haven't budged. They've got even gap side to side. If there is a gap, now we're ready to tighten the screws on the ends of the 4 camshafts. So the 2 sprockets, there's 2 different kinds of sprockets. We have the variable valve timing sprockets and the plain sprockets. They have a different torque sequence that they follow. So the sprocket I'm doing now, the variable timing one, it has several different things you need to do. You have to first tighten it to 7.5 foot-pounds, and then tighten it to 22 foot-pounds, and then do a 100-degree torque angle, and then we're going to loosen it by 90 degrees, and then loosen it by 360 degrees, and then the final tightening step is to tighten it to 22 foot-pounds, and then turn it 135 degrees. So each of the variable sprockets use that method, and then the standard sprockets have its own method. That sprocket is done where we tighten to 7.5 foot-pounds first, and then tighten to 37 foot-pounds, and then a torque angle of 90 degrees. So it's important to follow those, important to mark it so you get the right angles on these things, and these are single-use bolts, so you want to do this once. So here's one of the non-variable ones, the non-variable sprocket that I'm working on, marking our 90-degree torque angle, and we're done. So all 4 sprockets, once they are tightened like this, we can now remove the staking tools. And this engine, the cams, all 4 cams, and the crank pulley are at top dead center. So removing the tools, we can see, yep, we're still pinned to top dead center with our crank pulley, and looking at both of the cams, we can see the little black dots are straight up, facing upward on all 4 camshafts. So this is the arrangement when this engine is in top dead center. Those are the bank 1, and here are the bank 2 dots facing up. This thing has been timed just right. When everything's put back together and the engine's started up, the way that we're going to know we did it just right is to check the camshaft deviations, and let's see how we did. That's what we're going for. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more action in the 958 garage.